What are the main triggers for toddler tantrums? Imagine a tiny person trying to navigate a world full of big feelings and little words. Sometimes their emotions overflow and a tantrum happens. But what really causes these outbursts? Knowing the main triggers can help us manage those tricky moments better. One big factor is physical needs. When toddlers are hungry, tired, or feeling lonely, their patience wears thin fast. If they miss a nap or skip a snack, they often become cranky and more prone to tantrums. Even being just 30 minutes late for a meal can turn a sweet kid into a fussing mess. Sleep deprivation is just as powerful. When they don't get enough rest, they're more likely to get upset over small things. Overstimulation is another common trigger. Toddlers get overwhelmed when there's too much noise, too many people, or too many new sights and sounds at once. Visiting a busy park or a crowded store can flood their senses. Giving them breaks between activities helps prevent overload. If they're constantly bombarded with new experiences without time to process, they might shut down or throw a tantrum. Wanting control is a big deal for toddlers. They love to do things by themselves like dressing or pouring juice. When we try to help or stop them, frustration builds. They're saying, "I want to do this myself," but they don't have the words yet. That frustration often turns into a tantrum. Communication struggles also play a role. Their vocabulary is growing, but they still can't always tell us how they feel. If they're upset or scared but can't find the words, they act out instead. Tantrums become their way of expressing big feelings they can't yet explain. Frustration from unmet expectations is another common cause. If a child tries to build a tower of blocks and it falls, or they want a toy but it's out of reach, they feel disappointment. Since they haven't learned coping skills yet, these small setbacks seem like huge problems. Attention and connection needs are important too. When they don't get enough focused time with us, they might act out to get noticed. Short, regular moments of one-on-one attention can reduce their need for negative behavior. Environmental temptations can also spark tantrums. If there are fragile or forbidden items within reach, their impulse control isn't strong enough to resist. When they try to touch something they shouldn't and get told no, frustration can explode into a tantrum. Changes in routine or transitions can be upsetting. Kids thrive on predictability, so when plans shift suddenly or they're told no unexpectedly, their brains struggle to adapt. This can lead to a meltdown. Caffeine and sugar can also influence behavior. Too much sugar or drinks with caffeine, like certain cold medicines, can make toddlers hyper and more likely to tantrum. What they consume really does affect how they act. Some children have underlying issues like sensory processing differences or anxiety. These can make tantrums happen more often or seem more intense. If tantrums continue beyond the preschool years or seem extreme, talking to a professional might be helpful. Remember, tantrums are a normal part of child development. Kids from 1 to 3 years old are still learning how to manage big feelings. They don't do it to annoy us. They're figuring out how to handle emotions in a body that can't always express itself clearly. The best thing we can do is recognize these triggers and try to prevent them. Keeping routines consistent, offering choices, and staying patient with their communication struggles makes a big difference. It's not about never having tantrums, that's impossible, but about understanding why they happen and responding with kindness and calm.